Oh, you need somebody who knows what they're doing. You need somebody who's able to stretch the tension. You need somebody who's able to guide an audience through the fear avenue and reward that. And it's, like I say, hats off to Universal for. It would have been very easy to go with, some very, very well-known, movie star, marquee name, to hang their hat on, but they didn't. They got a wonderful bunch of, theatre people and actors, and made this an ensemble piece, and I think hats off to Universal for doing that. Absolutely, 100%, and also yes, and gave us the budget to give the scope on this thing. It's not everything happening in 3 rooms. You could see, they spent forever building that. That's a full-size ship. We did 1.5 ships, I think, in Malta in the tank, and then in Berlin, we did all the interiors, and it was just wonderful to see the money spent on the production. Well, there was all we did when we went to Rostock, and we went out to see these ships at work, and there was also the people who built this ship. All their Christmases came at the same time. A Hollywood studio saying, how would you guys, these wonderful shipping nerds who love these old boats. It must have been wonderful when Universal called and said, how would you like to build a ship? And I'm sure they went through the roof. And their enthusiasm and their love of what they're doing. And it's like, I'm sure you'll probably be talking to David. David's character, this Polish character, like he says, he's just basically born, lived, and will probably die on a boat. That's his life. For a lot of these guys, that's the only way they can live their lives. They have routine. They do their work, they go to bed, they're together. That's their family. And I think in a lot of cases, a lot of people who work in the marine environment, or even perhaps the military and stuff like that, is that's the life they know they can live with. I think a lot of these people, they can't handle city life, or they can't handle, it's just not good for them. And these ships are their safe spaces. That they just know what they have to do, and life is simple for them. And then if you throw into that the arrival of Dracula, I think you've got drama. 100%. And I think it's very clever the way they did it. It's, he goes over. Oh, we've got hold on. Give us a sec. We've got a coffee machine cleaning itself in the background. We better plug that out. I think it's underneath. Yeah, I love the character, Corey's character, Clemens, who is, a qualified man from a highly respectable college in England, and when goes over to, take his post, and as soon as they see the colour of him, they go, not here, pal. And he's in trouble. He was going to start a new life and gets rejected. And then when he joins us, as you say, he earns the trust, the respect, and Eliot loves him. Because he can discuss books with him, he can discuss philosophy with him. He's just delighted for the company, and then as we see, as the drama unfolds and the fear and the danger unfolds, Clemens as the hero surfaces, and I love the idea of that the hero emerges. And it is Corey's character. It's wonderful. I love that. There's something slightly old-fashioned about it. But then again, Dracula's kind of old-fashioned. And I mean that in the best sense. Not, 100%. It just lends itself to cinema so well as a medium. Horror and stretching the elastic and the tension. And you have to remember, when we were in Germany, in Babelsberg, I've never known what the right pronunciation is, 100 years before, Max Schreck was playing Dracula in Nosferatu in that very studio. So we kind of felt a real kind of responsibility here to try and, do as best we can, but also honour that history. And that's over 100 years. From the very early stages of cinema. horror has been a huge part of it. It's the roller coaster ride that cinema can and horror can bring to an audience, and it just lends itself. It's always going to be a part of cinema, and you know, quite a few first-time directors make a name for themselves doing horror, because it's a wonderful way to show your skills, and it's incredibly technical and enormously enjoyable. We still love going to the cinema to have our wits frightened out of us, and that will never stop. Well, usually my wife. No, what scares me in real life, my impending death. That's basically what scares me. Nothing really. I can't think of. I don't know. The environment. I don't. Politics. Don't get me onto it. But politics and the environment. They're the two things that scare me.